I made Victor Wembanyama 5'4" to see how it would change his NBA career, and immediately we could see the effects. Usually he's the first or second overall pick in the draft, but this time he ended up falling all the way down to number 6, where he was selected by the Houston Rockets. Victor Wembanyama is also usually a higher overall, but this time he was only a 79 overall coming out of the draft. There are a lot of players on this young Rockets team that are better than him, but still, he was able to get the start. We also see Scoot Henderson win Rookie of the Year over Wembanyama, and he put up some great numbers. Now, Wembanyama actually was on all-rookie second team. His numbers were solid, but you can already see the effects of him being 5'4". In the first round, we faced up against the Denver Nuggets, and ultimately, we were no match for them. The Nuggets ended up taking us out in 5 games, and Wembanyama's stats were underwhelming, to say the least. Now, getting into player progression, Wembanyama ended up going up to an 84 overall. Also, if you are enjoying the video so far and want to see more content from me, I'd really appreciate if you considered subscribing. Only a little over 2% of you all who watch my videos are subscribed. Now, this year, Wembanyama's actually going to be coming off the bench with Alperen Sengun starting, but this had no effect on his numbers. He actually ended up getting better in less minutes, so maybe this bench role is just working out for him. Now, we ended up finishing as the 2nd seed, and we're taking on the Golden State Warriors in round 1. We were obviously a heavy favorite being the 2nd seed, and we got out of there in 5. Wembanyama was good in the closeout game. Now we've got New Orleans in the 2nd round, and again, we're able to get out of there in 5, and Wembanyama has another good closeout game. This has been a good playoff run in limited minutes for Wembanyama. Now we've got the number 1 seeded Thunder in the conference finals, and in game 1, they ended up beating us by over 10 points, and Wembanyama drops 12, but he only played 20 minutes. Now we've got a close one in game 2, and we get to see Wembanyama out there. Just look at how short he is. Chet Holmgren gets the ball and makes an easy dunk to put the Thunder up 1. Wembanyama can't really do much against Chet. He's over 7 feet tall. Wembanyama fades away in the post and misses that one, and then Shea has the ball and he ends up getting an easy floater, and that pretty much seals the deal. Wembanyama struggled in this game as we go down 2-0 in the series, but we're able to fight back. We take a game and then we tie up the series, and then we have a close one in game 6, but ultimately we're not able to beat OKC. In game 6, Victor had 12 points. In the offseason, we see Victor Wembanyama make a solid jump in overall, not as big as I would have expected for year 3, but he's still coming off the bench, and we see his numbers go down in this 3rd year. His minutes went up, but the numbers were down, kind of surprising. But in the first round, we end up easily beating the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games, but the Jazz end up giving us some problems in round 2. We're able to tie up the series. We take the 5th game as Wembanyama drops 13 points and is having yet another tough playoff run, but we're still able to get out of there in 6 games. Now we're in the conference finals against the New Orleans Pelicans. The series is tied up at 1 apiece, but they only took 1 game. We end up advancing to the NBA Finals as Jalen Green wins the Western Conference MVP. Victor Wembanyama had a perfect shooting night to close out the Pelicans. Now, getting into this final series, we end up taking game 1 against the Boston Celtics, and we also take game 2. Wembanyama was nowhere to be found in this box score, only scoring 7 points on 2 for 9 shooting. We then take game 3, and we finish off the series in a sweep. Jabari Smith Jr. is the finals MVP, and Wembanyama didn't do too much in the NBA Finals. Now, Wembanyama's up to a 90 overall, so I have some high expectations for him this year, and he lives up to them. His numbers go up, his minutes go up, and maybe we can finally see him really play a big role on this Rockets team as they try to make another finals run. But we run into a roadblock. In round 1, we're down 3-1 to the 8th-seeded Jazz, but we actually bounce back and pull off the 3-1 comeback with Wembanyama dropping 32 in game 7. Now we've got another tied up series that's going to game 7, and we win that one again. This is a much better playoff run for Wembanyama. He gets 19 and 11 in the closeout game against the Spurs. We've got yet another game 7 as we try to advance to the finals, and this one is pretty close. Jalen Green dumps the ball down to Jabari Smith Jr., but that was the last last bucket we see from the team as we lose. But the next season is set to be a bounce-back year for Wembanyama. He makes his first All-Star team and adds an accolade to his resume. We also end up winning 70 games on the season, but Scoot is the MVP of the league. He has been amazing in this. He also won Most Improved Player. Wembanyama had a good year, don't get me wrong, but Scoot being selected as the MVP while he didn't earn any All-NBA honors is kind of surprising. But we've got a chance to get revenge. We're in the finals against the Wizards, but they go up 3-0. We end up taking one game, but they end up beating us in a gentleman's sweep as Scoot wins finals MVP. But Wembanyama is continuing to improve, so hopefully this is our year. Wembanyama is the All-Star captain as he makes his second All-Star game. It's a visual glitch there, that's why it says he's made 3. Now, Scoot ends up winning the MVP again, but at least Wembanyama is All-NBA this year. Now, we're going to get into the NBA Finals. That's all that really matters. Wembanyama led us through the West, and now we've got a chance to win a ring. Wembanyama and the Rockets take Game 1 and Game 2, but the Raptors bounce back in Game 3. We take Game 4, they take Game 5, and we're out of there in 6. Wembanyama is the Finals MVP, so if a girl says you're too short, just show them this video. Wembanyama won Finals MVP of 5-4. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe.